The real estate market has been changing a lot over the last 6 to 8 months. October 2022 numbers are in for the Charlotte region. Let's jump in and see what's been happening in the housing market. Every month, I go over the current real estate stats so that you know exactly what's happening in the real estate market in the Charlotte area. This month, we're going to be going over what happened in October 2022 and how that is different from September and last year. So let's take a look. First off, from September to October, the new listings, the pending sales, and closed sales all went down, and the days on market went up. Let's take a deeper dive into the numbers to see what that all means. First off, let's talk about new listings. In the month of October, there were 4,224 new listings. We did see a decrease this month, but that is not uncommon. You can tell in the historical view down below that the new listings tend to be very cyclical. And when it gets to the fall and winter, the numbers do go down. Every single year, you have your lowest point in December, and then things go up in January. So we will likely still see a decrease in November and December. December should be our lowest point, and January should pick up again if the trend continues. In pending sales, again, this is totally normal to have a decrease. We had 3,369 pending sales. Those are the homes that went under contract in the month of October. So whether they were under contract show or under contract no show, either way, those are all being counted in that number. Closed sales, it is exactly what it sounds like. Those are the homes that closed in the month of October. And yes, this number also went down. It went down to 3,568. And again, that is pretty common, especially since each month we're seeing a decrease in listings, a decrease in pending sales, and of course that's going to lead to a decrease in closed sales as well. Let's go ahead and check out the days on market until sale. This is the number of days it takes from when a home goes active on the market until it is no longer able to be viewed, so under contract no show. And that number is going up. It actually has been going up for several months. You can see it in the table here that in June we were down to 14, and that was pretty much our lowest point. July 15, August 19, September 23, October 27. This column here is showing what happened last year. And again, in June and July, we were at 14, and we did see a slight increase as we hit the fall market, but not nearly as much of an increase as we've seen this year. This is a big impact on what is happening to sale prices. You see, when a home sits on the market for more than a normal amount of time, in the pandemic market, we were seeing homes get scooped up in that first weekend. So it was pretty common to see a median days on market of 3. Many homes were going under contract that first weekend. And if it did not sell the first weekend, there was a pretty quick price decrease to get that home sold. Now, with it being a higher days on market, now as that goes up, sellers are getting worried. Sellers are thinking, why isn't my home going under contract? Now, it is still a very normal number to see 27, but because we're comparing it to a market where it's practically double where it was at its lowest point, it feels a lot worse than it is. So sellers get worried, they lower those prices, and also buyers come in and think the seller is probably desperate by now, and they make lower offers. So honestly, days on market plays a big part in the final sale price. Next up is the average list price. Now, this one is continuing to surprise me. The average list price is, of course, determined by the seller. The seller is deciding where to list the property. And this number is still going up. We've been going up for a couple months now. The reason that I'm surprised by that is because the median sale price is coming down, but the sellers still haven't quite accepted that the prices are coming down. The market is declining a little bit. So they're still pricing a little bit more hopeful. They're trying to price it a little high. And many sellers don't understand that that can actually be detrimental to their final sale price. If you price above market value, you're going to limit the number of buyers who are coming through the home, and you're going to limit the number of offers you get. Many sellers believe if they just list high, they're going to get the highest offer. Somebody's going to come in and offer what they want to offer, and they're still going to make a good amount. Now, the truth is, if you price at market value or just slightly below market value, you tend to drum up more attraction from the buyers. And because of that, then you can actually drive the price a little bit higher. So it's very important that you pay attention to what's happening in the market when you're listing your home so that you list it at an appropriate price. Like I alluded to earlier, the median sale price is coming down. So we've seen a decrease. Basically, June 2022 was the height of our market. So essentially, we had an increasing market for several years. In fact, I think it was pretty much like 11 years, maybe. In any case, it was many years. The market was going up, 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 up. And of course, during the pandemic market, it went up really fast. You can see in like right about here how fast it went up. June was the height. It was the peak. Since then, our median sale price has come down a bit, and we are down to $379,450 for October 2022. Like I said, it is surprising that the sellers are still pricing up, and we are ending up closing below. And that's going to lead into the next stat, the percent of original list price received. So this is comparing the original list price, what the seller wanted, and where the buyer ended up making an offer and they closed on the property. Of course, that's not where the buyer offers, isn't necessarily where it closes, because there is an additional negotiation after inspections and appraisal come in. So it is possible that that offer price isn't always what that sale price is. But in any case, we are seeing a decrease. As you can tell from this table, it has April 2022, it was 102.8, meaning that homes were selling above list, meaning multiple offers, meaning low days on market. But when we got into June, it started coming down, 101.8, down again in July. And in August, we had the first time it was lower than 100%, meaning homes were selling below list price. Back in February 2021 was the last time that we have seen homes closing below list price. And now we are seeing that again. Not just in August, it went down again in September, and it went down again in October. So this is a notice to these sellers. Make sure you are pricing your home appropriately, because what we don't want to do is see this number continuing to decrease for the sellers. Of course, it's good news for the buyers because they can make a good offer and get a good deal on their property. The next stat we'll talk about is the inventory of homes for sale. This number also decreased in October, 7,511, so it has been decreasing for a few months now. Like I said, it is pretty common to see that because we're heading into the winter season. So don't be alarmed. It's not an alarming number. Pay attention here. That's actually much, much higher than October of 2021. It's a 42.1% increase from October of 2021. The last stat we're going to talk about is the month's supply of homes for sale. And this number just indicates that if no other homes hit the market, this is how long it would take to sell out of the inventory. For October 2022, that number is 1.8. So we have a 1.8 month supply. Keep in mind that number does indicate that we are still in a seller's market. anything based on this set of numbers alone, the month supply of homes for sale, anything under about 5 or 6 months is a seller's market. Many people are feeling the comparison because we're just coming out of that pandemic market. So it feels like it is a buyer's market, and it has a lot of indications of a buyer's market. Though by this stat alone, we have the inventory that supports a seller's market. Whether you are a potential buyer or a potential seller, you may be worried about the current market because we're seeing some shifting and some changing, and that can look scary no matter what side of the fence you're on. If you're selling, you might be worried about, where am I going to live if I sell the house? What home am I going to buy? The interest rates are high. I'm going to get ripped off because somebody's going to offer me lower than my list price. The reality is the market is declining. So if you wait longer to sell, you're just going to be continuing to lose that equity. So if you're thinking about selling, now is a great time to do it before the prices go down even further. If you are a potential buyer, you are likely worried about the interest rates. And I can understand that because we have just come out of a phase where we were seeing record low, historical low interest rates. But those types of rates, those numbers, we're not going to see again. There are pros and cons in every single market. And if you are a potential buyer and you were thinking about buying in the pandemic market, the competition was fierce. There were buyers offering way over asking price, giving up their inspections, giving up their appraisals, just trying to do everything possible to get those homes under contract. Now in this market, the competition has really significantly decreased. So if you find a home that you love, you can make an offer on that home that is comfortable to you, and you can still win that offer without giving everything away. Now, the great thing about this is that you are marrying the home and dating the rate. You can always refinance if interest rates do come down. Some people are thinking interest rates are going to continue to go up for a little while, but at some point they'll come back down. And when that happens, you can refinance and have the home you love at a price you are comfortable with. And now you get to refinance for the lower rate. So whether you're thinking about buying or selling, if this is a time when you need to do this, we can make it work for you. If you have any questions about the market, you know how to reach me. My number and email are on the screen for you. And I would love to just briefly look over a little bit of information about the mortgage rates. So mortgage rates have decreased slightly today based on the news from CPI. And the reason I wanted to bring that to your attention is that you have opportunities. If you do not know a lender who has a rate lock program, please reach out to me. I would love to connect you with a phenomenal lender who has a rate lock opportunity that is going to get you fully through underwriting, and it's going to lock in your interest rate. When you see something low like this, when you see a low number and you want to lock that in, reach out and get that taken care of. You can get all the way through underwriting and then go under contract. So you don't have to be at the mercy of what the rates are today when you finally go under contract. You can prepare ahead of time and get that taken care of. And there's also another option that you might not be aware of called a buy down. Some sellers are offering to pay for a rate buy down for their buyers. So if today these rates are 6.62 and you lock that in, and the seller on the home you purchase agrees to a 2-1 buy down, that means for your whole first year, you could be paying 4.62%. And your whole second year, you could be paying 5.62%. And hopefully by the time you would be bumped back up to the 6.62, hopefully by then the rates have come down a bit and you can refinance. So there are options. Please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching my October 2022 market update for Charlotte, North Carolina. I am your market expert, and if you have any questions or comments about this, please do leave them in the comment below, or you can reach out to me directly. Please share this video with your friends so that they can find out what's going on in the market too. Bye.